This is a tale from Goa, India, in which you'll see the kind of predicament a son-in-law puts his in-laws in. I always wonder, why do sons-in-law get treated like mini celebrities in our country? I mean, what's all the hoopla about? I for sure don't understand that. Let me know if you have any idea. So, this recently wedded son-in-law goes to stay at his in-laws' place, that is his wife's parents' place. And you know how it is with all the special treatment that sons-in-law get in this country. Needless to say, this son-in-law gets the same revered treatment. One morning when he wakes up and starts lazily stretching, a familiar sizzling sound gets his immediate attention. And soon after, a delicious aroma fills the air and his nostrils. Pancakes. Do you like pancakes? This son-in-law surely does. He loves pancakes. He immediately gets out of bed, busies himself with the morning routine, brushing his teeth, washing his face, changing into daytime clothes, all the time counting the number of times the sizzling sound is coming. Why? Because he wants to figure out how many pancakes are being prepared so that he can decide how many he can eat. Considering there are 5 people altogether in this household, himself, his wife, his father-in-law, mother-in-law, and his wife's little brother, his brother-in-law. Now, as the mother is busy preparing pancakes in the kitchen, her little boy comes into the kitchen and asks for breakfast. He is terribly hungry. But the mother-in-law tells him, "You must wait for our son-in-law to finish eating first. Only then can you have." Sulking, the little boy waits on a grumbling stomach. All this while, the son-in-law continues to count the number of times the pan is sizzling, and so far he has counted 10 sizzles, meaning 10 pancakes. He hurries to the dining room and he sees that 5 pancakes have already been placed on the table. He pulls out a chair, takes a plate, helps himself with 2 pancakes after pouring a generous amount of maple syrup on them. Lovely. Mother-in-law is such a great cook, he thinks, as he relishes the pancakes. But he hasn't stopped counting the number of sizzles. By the time he is done eating the 2 pancakes, he counts 10 more sizzles from the kitchen. And then the pan goes silent. The pancake batter has also gotten over. So the son-in-law thinks, mother-in-law has prepared 20 pancakes in all, so I can rest assured and have my fill. Just then, his mother-in-law comes out of the kitchen with 5 more pancakes and places them on the table, smiles at her son-in-law and goes back into the kitchen. The son-in-law helped himself to 2 more pancakes, and now his little brother-in-law, who had been watching him from the kitchen all this time, starts to worry. He turns to his mother and says, "Mom, he just had 2 more pancakes. When will I get to eat? I am so hungry." The mother-in-law admonishes her boy. "Shh, you should not say that. Let son-in-law have his fill. There are 6 more pancakes. There is enough for all of us. Time goes by. The little boy's stomach is growling now. And just when he thinks that the son-in-law is done eating, he places 2 more pancakes on his plate. Now there are only 4 pancakes left on the table. The boy urgently whispers to his mother, "Mom, stop him! He just had 2 more pancakes." Now the mother-in-law anxiously peeks out the kitchen and sees that her son-in-law is busy enjoying the pancakes. She tells her boy, "It's okay, son. There are 4 more left. You and your sister can have 2 each, okay? Your father and I will manage without breakfast today." Flushing with anger, the little boy waits for his brother-in-law to finish eating. And the great son-in-law finishes off his plate, gets off his chair, only to put 2 more pancakes on his plate and sit back. Now the little boy is almost on the verge of tearing his hair in distraught. "Mom, he had 2 more pancakes. Only 2 are left now. Do something." The mother-in-law starts wringing her hands in desperation. "Stop fretting, son. You can have those 2 pancakes. I will tell your sister not to have any. She will understand. I can't ask my son-in-law to stop eating. He is our guest after all. What would his parents say if we don't feed their son well?" Just as she finishes saying this, the son-in-law picks up and starts eating the last 2 pancakes, and then there were none. The little boy is beside himself with rage now, and he walks out the back door with a bang. Oblivious to everything, the son-in-law finishes off his plate and thinks to himself, "Good thing mother-in-law placed only 10 pancakes on the table and kept the other 10 in the kitchen itself. Else I would have had more pancakes to the point of bursting." Wow! The breakfast was simply amazing. He then lifts himself off his chair and walks away with a heavy tummy to wash his hands. So, the son-in-law had 10 pancakes while the rest of the household had none. But how did that happen? The son-in-law had counted 20 sizzling pancakes in all, right? Well, you see, every time the mother-in-law poured a ladle full of batter on the hot pan, it made a sizzling sound, of course. But then, every time she flipped the pancake to cook it on the other side, the pan made the same sizzling sound. Meaning, the mother-in-law had prepared only 10 pancakes, all of which were flipped, and thus the son-in-law heard the sizzles 20 times. He did count correctly, but he had been mistaken all the same. Got it? No? Oh, if not, go back to the beginning of the story and hear it again carefully.